صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Chapter on the playing of tricks by an official person in order to obtain presents. Narrated Abu Humayd as-Sayyidi, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, appointed a man called Ibn al-Lutabbiya to collect the Zakat from Bani Sulaim's tribe. When he returned, the Prophet, peace be upon him, called him to account. He said to the Prophet, peace be upon him, "This is your money collected from Zakat, and this has been given to me as a gift." On that, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, "Why didn't you stay in your father's and mother's house to see whether you will be given gifts or not, if you are telling the truth?" Then the Prophet, peace be upon him, addressed us, and after praising and glorifying Allah, he said, "Amma ba'du, I employ a man from among you to manage some affair of what Allah has put under my custody. And then he comes to me and says, 'This is your money, and this has been given to me as a gift.' Why didn't he stay in his father's and mother's home to see whether he will be given gifts or not? By Allah, not any one of you takes a thing unlawfully, but he will meet Allah on the day of resurrection carrying that thing. I do not want to see any of you carrying a grunting camel or a mooing cow or a bleating sheep on meeting Allah." Then the Prophet, peace be upon him, raised both his hands till the whiteness of his armpits became visible, and he said, "O Allah, haven't I conveyed your message?" The narrator added, "My eyes witnessed and my ears heard that hadith." Narrated Abu Rafi', the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The neighbor has more right to be taken care of by his neighbor than anyone else." Some men said, "If one wants to buy a house for 20,000 dirham, then there is no harm to play a trick to deprive somebody of preemption by buying it just on paper with 20,000 dirham, but paying to the seller only 9,999 dirham in cash, and then agree with the seller to pay only 1 dinar in cash for the rest of the price, that is, 10,001 dirham. If the preemptor offers 20,000 dirham for the house, he can buy it, otherwise he has no right to buy it. By this trick, he got out of preemption. If the house proves to belong to somebody else other than the seller, the buyer should take back from the seller what he has paid, that is, 9,999 dirham and 1 dinar, because if the house proves to belong to somebody else, so the whole bargain deal is unlawful. If the buyer finds a defect in the house and it does not belong to somebody other than the seller, the buyer may return it and receive 20,000 dirham instead of 9,999 dirham plus 1 dinar, which he actually paid. Abu Abdullah said, "So that man allows some people the playing of tricks amongst the Muslims, although the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, in dealing with Muslims, one should not sell them sick animals or bad things or stolen things." Narrated Amr bin Ash-Sharid, Abu Rafi' sold a house to Sa'd bin Malik for 400 mithqal of gold and said, "If I had not heard the Prophet, peace be upon him, saying, 'The neighbor has more right to be taken care of by his neighbor than anyone else,' then I would not have sold it to you."